Right, well, fucking haven't made a video about changing shit in a minute, but got my '07 GMC Canyon this morning. Saw a bunch of coolant coming out, and right now that I just checked it, it's the water pump, which if you move this, it wiggles right here, and underneath this is the water pump. So we're gonna make a let me show you video on how to change a water pump on one of these things. So changing a water pump on a 2007 GMC Canyon, let me show you. Alright, so first I'm gonna take this hose off. Just take that clamp. If you want, you could take it off completely, or you just take this clamp off and then just like bend it out the way. That way we can take this cover off, because this cover is in the way. So let's do it. So I just get some vice grips right here, and then boom, loosen that clip. Get it out the way if we can, like that. And boom, and then I like to use sometimes a flathead to kind of like break it free so it comes off, because it might be stuck on there. So this one I was able to pry it off with the flathead. This one I took the thing out, it's pretty stuck. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna try to get a clamp, or no, pliers on this, and then you want to like kind of crank it to break it loose. So let's give it a shot. With a lot of hard work, it came off. I ordered a new one, because better to have new ones so I don't have to deal with this shit later. Next, you want to just move stuff out the way like this. AC line, if you can. Just popped it up, get out the way. And then we're going to be pulling off some clips. These down here. You can see them, there's a few of them on both sides. And let's do that. These things come off pretty easy. You just get a flathead here, and then make sure you put your hand on the other side so you can catch it. If not, you're gonna be looking for it, but I can't record that because I need both my hands. Okay, next you gotta take this thing off. You just get a flathead and put it in between there and just pry it loose. See if I can do that. It's easier with two hands. There it goes, see, boom. So you can get this out the way. Next, I see two more clips I gotta remove. This one right here, and there's one on the back over here. Let's take them off. Alright, I think I got all the clips off. So next, you gotta pull this thing up. I heard you could just pry it from here on both sides. Has it right here too. So I'm gonna try to do that real quick. Let you know if it works. Well, I was able to just pull that up with my hand. See if this one works too. Yeah. Goes. Now I feel like something else is holding it. See if I forget a clip. Probably. No, there it goes. Loosey goosey. Just pull it out of the engine bay. There's that piece. Oh, dead spider. And I gotta get this thing out. And then there's a bottom piece too. You just start pulling these things out. See, it's attached. Alright, so this piece goes right here. It has this thing that holds it. So you could just get a flathead and kind of like push it in and it'll come loose. This little tip to get this thing out, and just rotate it out and boom. And then this last bottom piece should just come out. Easy money. Oh yeah. I'm doing it one-handed, so y'all have no excuse. And tell me why I kind of knew something was up. I heard a little sound. Look at that. It ain't supposed to be moving like that. That's the water pump is behind all this crap. I have to take fan clutch. So you get a tool that's gonna hook on here to hold this, and then this nut down here that I'm touching, you gotta rotate that out to take the fan clutch off. And then you take these screws off. This will come out. Oh, before you take this out, you gotta take the belt off, which there's a tensioner right here. You get your wrench, put in here, and you loosen the tension. You can take the belt off. Then you take the screws off, take that off. That'll expose the water pump. There'll be like 5 bolts. Take off the water pump, and then you put the new one on. Yeah, reverse order, blah blah blah. So after I get this thing off, I'm like halfway done. But this thing just happened today, so I just ordered the parts today on Amazon Prime. It should be here tomorrow. So I'm only gonna get this far today, and I'll show you the rest tomorrow. But yeah, that's so far. Tomorrow, let me show you how to finish. Here's part 2 of changing the water pump. So now I gotta get this fan clutch off and to get to the water pump, which is back there. So let's get it done. So I'm back. Rented this from AutoZone, the whole fan clutch removal tool set. Oh snap. It doesn't work, don't fit. Fuck it, save your time. End up having to go to Riley's. Pick this fan clutch wrench set. It says it's for Fords, but has the right size. You need a 36 millimeter, and then that thing, you attach that to a breaker bar, so that way you can get this fan clutch off. Let's do it. Let's see if you can see this. So I attach that onto these little nuts. I use this skinny one to get that bolt right there, and then you just turn it in that way. So I'm gonna do that. All right. So once you break the nut loose, you can actually just take that thing off and then just rotate it with this. You don't need to keep the other piece on, it kind of gets in the way. Alright, see, she's off. Next we're going to take those 4 bolts off. But before we take those bolts off, when you get the belt off, there's a tensioner right there that we're going to have to loosen the tension to get this belt off. Alright, so you get it in a wrench like that, just pull this thing down and see how it loosens the belt, and you just take the belt off. Well, one other thing, if you don't want to have to look up a diagram on how to put the belt back, I suggest you take a picture or memorize what way the belt goes, because yeah, you want to make sure you're putting it how it's supposed to go when you put it back. So next I got 2 wrenches, 13 millimeter sockets. I'm using one to hold it, because if not, this whole thing spins, and the other one to take the screw off. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, so to get the last bolt off, you're gonna have to reuse this tool to hold the other screws so you can break it loose. And then, yeah. Alright, so this is the water pump right here. See, this was busted on it. And these screws right here are what I need to take off to get the water pump off. So we're going to do that now. Looks like they're probably going to be like a 12 or a 10. Alright, so this thing's on there pretty good, so I'm just using this little pry bar to kind of loosen that shit and take it off. So let's see, boom, there you go. It's coming. Just getting the edges. And there she is. So next we gotta just kind of clean it around there, scrape all that old silicone off, and then pop a new one on. So you want to clean off all this excess silicone. That way the new water pump sits flush. If not, it'll be leaking again. Got the gasket on the new water pump. It's AC Delco's the original one. So we're gonna just pop it in. Make sure you just match up the holes and the screws. Very easy. Like that. It sits flush. Then you just get the bolts and just screw them in. Easy money. So, got the new water pump on. Now we're gonna install the pulley back on it. So same difference. You just get the screws and just match up the holes to these. So we got the pulley back on. Now we can put the belt back on and run it through, and then put the fan. I just got to remember how the belt went. Alright, stop that. Alright, so we got the belt back on. Next we're going to put this fan back on the same way we took it off. So just slip it in here, and you just start screwing it in before you actually put the wrench to it. Like that. Get my hand in there. Just do it with the fan. Okay. Let's get it. So now we're gonna put this fan cover back on. First, put the bottom piece on. It has these little pointy things that go in these little holes down here, right up below the radiator. Just make sure it sits in there. See that? One on each side. So do that. Next, you want to get this other piece, put it in. I believe it goes that way. See? And it fits, these little groove fits in a groove on that bottom piece. You see it in here, right in here, right all around. So let's put it down in that. Now we got the third and final piece that goes this way too. This one's a little tight. You need to take the radiator hose off to put it on, but I'm gonna take the hose off first and then I'll put it on. Alright, got the radiator hose out the way, and I can put this thing back in. Just slip it around. So make sure you put this piece on right. There's grooves in the inside. You can follow and get it to sit. There's these hooks right in here. There's one right there. Just hook it on there, and it should all come together like that, like so. I gotta put these clips back on, which go on like on the side, which hold the two top and bottom pieces together over here. So we put one on and you just go and replace them. So now I'm just putting these hoses back. There's a little clamp that holds this one over here. Just push it back in, close it up, put the radiator hose back on, best you can. Get that clamp back on there, and then see, pretty much that's it. We're gonna fill this thing up with coolant and start it up. So I'm filling it up with the full strength coolant, and then I'm gonna top it off with straight water, and that should be enough, because technically 1 gallon of straight coolant makes 2 gallons of 50-50 mix.